We are going to talk about a movie.
This is going to be a disaster.
It was one of the best movies of the year.
It's gonna go so well. Probably one of the last movies I would ever want to see in a theater. What is going on, everybody? Taylor here, and I am joined by my very specialist guest.
I'm still a special guest. Come on.
My co-host?
Yay!
My favorite co-host?
Yay!
Is that better?
I'm a co-host. I have an official title.
Well, according to San Diego Comic-Con.
I'm a host, actually. I'm not a co-host. I'm a host.
You are.
Yeah. Today we're talking about a movie we saw just the other day.
We are.
Yeah. Starring The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson in Fighting with My Family.
Yes, that is the most important credit to list.
Absolutely.
At the top of this movie.
Definitely.
100%.
He's totally not in just 2 scenes in this film. He literally has only 2 scenes in this film. He is not in this film. If you are going to see it for The Rock, he is in 2 scenes.
And you've already seen them, basically.
And you have. I think there is one line of dialogue that hasn't been in, that is in the trailer.
There's a couple more lines. There just aren't any more scenes.
Yeah.
Like, you've seen where he comes in. Literally both of the scenes. There's just some dialogue that they cut out of the trailer. So get ready for that if that's your main selling point there. He wasn't bad in the movie. I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But other than that, that is the only thing we're going to spoil for you about this movie, because you deserve warning to know that that's all you're going to get. So I guess the best place to start for me with this movie would be the fact that Florence Pugh is amazing.
Yes.
She does very, very well leading this movie, or co-leading this movie, if you consider her brother's story as well. But she's fantastic in it. She sounds exactly like Paige.
Scarily
like her. And she does a fantastic job performance-wise. She does some impressive moves for someone who's
not a wrestler.
Yeah. So what should people know about this story going into it without really spoiling anything?
So Paige is from a family in England who are obsessed with wrestling.
Yeah.
And her brother get a tryout to participate in the WWE. And from there, Paige, who that's the wrestling name she chooses, is Paige, gets accepted, and her brother doesn't. And that's really kind of where the story splits off. Yeah, and that's where it goes. It goes from there. Yeah. And I don't want to spoil anything else about their journey, even though there is a documentary about this, and you can pretty easily find what this story is about. I still want to kind of leave that for people like myself who went in not really knowing a ton about it. I didn't want to watch the documentary or anything before I went in to see this movie, because I wanted to just watch it as it was on its own kind of merits. It does an interesting job with the storytelling of trying to take both hers and her brother's perspectives during this time, and how different their situations are, and how they're both trying to deal with those situations. And it also very clearly shows you how the parents have to deal with it as well. Yeah. They're all kind of dealing with their different traumas here for different reasons. Yeah. I did really love the family dynamic of this one. I thought they did the family really well. You really did feel that this was a family who, one, genuinely love wrestling, but two, also genuinely love each other. Oh, yeah. And there are moments in this film, now that I'm really thinking about it, that I loved a lot. All the stuff with her brother and the school of wrestling that they're trying to create. I really loved that. All the stuff with Paige and what she goes through, I love. There's a lot in this film that I really, really do gravitate to and really loved. To me, I have a problem with how basic and formulaic the structure is. So in terms of, it follows the sports drama.
Right.
And to me, I the little peppered in moments make it unique, at least a little bit unique to me.
Right.
And that's why it goes from just being a fairly sublime sports drama to something that I gravitated to and do really enjoy and do recommend.
Right.
There's just plot beats that to me, I don't know if that happened in real life and that's why they had to do it. The third act is just hilarious to me, especially in the moment it works, but when you think about it, it just logic falls apart really quickly in terms of the storytelling narrative and device that they're trying to use.
I do think it had some issues with, like you say, being kind of conventional in a lot of ways and not really doing anything to try and be very different.
Yeah.
In terms of that, I do think it didn't bother me as much as it probably would have or should have if I wasn't having as much fun as I was with the movie. So for me, it wasn't as much of a like, oh, I wish that wasn't so formulaic. For me, it was more like, oh, the movie's already over. Like, I could have watched another half an hour of that.
Okay,
to fill in a little bit where maybe it didn't feel as formulaic. It was more me wanting maybe a little more of it to kind of add.
Yeah.
When we left, I was like, man, it felt like a short movie to me.
That's fair.
So I think that's how my perspective was maybe a little different than yours was. I could have watched a little bit more of that, maybe to show the in-betweens of some of those things.
Nick Frost and Lena Headey are incredible.
And who, Roka?
Oh my god, I'm gonna do Lena Headey or the Headley. I don't even know it. I don't know it. I'm not gonna try that again. Headey. There we go.
They were both fantastic as the parents.
Yes.
Especially after you go back and look at the documentary.
Oh, yeah.
They were so good.
Oh, yes. They are.
Especially Nick Frost.
Yes. Nick Frost is.
He nails it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
And it's such a fantastic energy when you see them all together. When you do see them all do their family wrestling, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I think Stephen Merchant doesn't get enough credit as well. I think from a directing standpoint, I do think he does really well with the material that I do think it's a really well made. The comedy works great.
Comedy is great.
But I'm surprised by the drama. A lot of the drama works really, really well.
I agree. There's one scene in particular, with Paige and her brother.
Yeah.
That I'm thinking of where
I think we're thinking of the same scene. Yeah.
Where it just comes in and really takes that lead of this is a very serious, dramatic moment and you're gonna feel it, and it's not gonna feel like we just kind of pulled you out of the comedy and it's jarring. It feels like it's really grounded. Yeah,
and I do think he hasn't been getting enough credit for that. And I agree. I do think he does direct it extremely well. I thoroughly recommend this film. It is highly entertaining.
It's very entertaining. I think that one of my personal favorite parts of the film, well, there's two things that I think are important. The first thing is they don't try to shove a romance in there that's not there for her.
No,
there's no romantic subplot in terms of Florence, in terms of Paige's character. Just
none whatsoever.
They don't try to make anything that wasn't there. It's just
awesome
in there, because she easily could have gone over to Florida and they have this weird
some
kind
boy
of So that was great. I appreciated that. And I also very much appreciated what her relationship with the other women turns into.
Yes.
I won't spoil that, but what it is so great compared to what it could have been and what they could have done with that.
Yes.
And I think that's important to highlight.
Yeah. And without spoilers, that work.
Yes.
That works incredibly well. That is extremely well done.
Yeah. But I would definitely recommend going to see it, even if you don't know anything about wrestling. I've only watched wrestling probably twice in my entire life.
I don't think I've ever actually watched wrestling in my entire life.
So as someone who really didn't know anything other than Schmodown versions of wrestling references, I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
And I think the cast has a lot to do with that though too.
Yes. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm definitely recommending you go and see Fighting with My Family.
Please go see it, because a movie like this deserves your money.
Yes.
Like, it's just a fun time, especially if you want to just go out with a family.
Yeah.
Or have a night to just, you know, get your mind off things. It's not a movie that you really need to think about, which can be really great. We just went and laughed and had a good time, and it was really nice. So have you guys seen this movie yet? If you have, we would love to hear what you think about it down in those comments. That would be awesome. All of our social media links are down in the description as well if you want to, for some reason, find us there. We also have our Letterboxd account linked down there. If you want to see what our star rating of the movie actually was and what we've been watching, you can check that out. And we also have something pretty exciting.
Yeah.
We relaunched our Patreon, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
In kind of a celebration of reaching 10,000 subscribers. Thought it was a good idea to maybe give you guys the opportunity to be a part of something pretty cool and pretty special. We'll put the link down in the description as well for the Patreon. What can they expect? Take a look at it. What are some cool things?
Well, so some cool things is the opportunity to spend a day hanging out with you on Skype.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can watch movies or kind of do whatever, because you need some people to keep me company during the day.
Well, I'm at work, so.
Yeah. There's some cool ones where you can decide what I'm going to react to every month. You can pick, you know, a trailer, or I can talk about a movie, stuff like that. There's a lot of cool options you can check out, and there are a lot of different price ranges as well, depending on what you can do or what you're wanting to do. But I'm pretty stoked about that. I think it's going to be pretty cool. And
for those of you who do contribute, thank you so much. Yes. You are helping a lot of this. I know right now we're literally stuck in my bedroom. But
we have our soundboard, we have our microphones.
Yep.
That's all because of whatever you guys are able to contribute.
Yeah, so thank you so much.
So that's fantastic. You guys are seriously the best, and we will see you all next time.
We will.